Drinking.
You know what? I did just start recording, so welcome everybody.
Hello.
Let me make sure it actually is recording. We've been going for 10 seconds here. I do have a drink of the day. It is non-alcoholic. It is a Arizona blueberry white tea.
Nice. There you go.
I don't really like them.
No, it's what made you try it? Is it because it's just something different or what?
So last night we were my girlfriend and I were forced to work mandatory overtime, so we stopped at 7-Eleven on the way home, and we both just grabbed random stuff. I also have like a Ryan Trahan sour strip. I don't know if you know who Ryan Trahan is from YouTube, but I have some of his candy brands. These are zero sugar sour strips. Like these are healthy candy, so they're freaking expensive.
Ryan Trahan.
Oh, that's better today.
I got I'm not trying something new, but a man knows what he likes, and so sometimes you just have to get the giant ass bottle of it. It's that Diet Dew.
I gotta be honest with you, I can't drink Old Logo Mountain Dew anymore.
Why?
Because I refuse. If I see the new logo anywhere, I buy that before I buy the old logo.
Well, there's only, I only have so many options, I had this guy too. I don't know.
Oh no, that's new. No, it's the new logo says Mountain Dew rather than MTN Dew. Look up the Mountain Dew logo. Look up the new. It's not all the stupid modern logos are going out. We're switching back to fun logos.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I know that was a big thing that a lot of people our generation was talking about, how they were going for there was that like time period like late 2010s, early 2020s, where we, especially the 2020s, when we started going for that like flat, like very standard, like basic logos, and everyone's like, where did all that go? I know one of the big things that a lot of people were talking about, which I didn't think we were going to talk about this today, but we're talking about it organically, is Frutiger Aero. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Arrow, I do not.
Frutiger Aero. If you look it up, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But it's like an aesthetic that was very popular in the early 2000s, and it's that very like watery, like it's a very like happy, healthy future, I think is what a lot of people describe it as. And I there's a part of me that does kind of like it, and for me it's a nostalgic thing. It just like hits like a nostalgic like button for me. And I've seen people on TikTok talk about it, and they're like, kids and Gen Z kids really enjoy this because it's a future that we were promised that we're not gonna get, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, it's not that deep, guys. Come on, it's floating bubbles and fish and a nice green landscape with a city background.
Very like, saturated green.
Exactly. I think I like this idea of taking the Frutiger Aero aesthetic and putting it into almost like a backrooms horror game style thing. Like, I came up with this idea for a game, kind of. I can't say that I came up with it, but it was inspired by a thing that Sai came up with, or Sai saw on TikTok. It was this idea, someone came up with a video game concept of you're a group of people and you're being attacked by essentially like an AI monster, but it can mimic the voices of the players. Which, by the way, that a game like that exists now.
Yeah.
But I had this I really started like laying out like the basic like building blocks of an idea of like a game that would work in that realm. And one of the map ideas that I have was recently I came up with this like this year, was a Frutiger Aero styled like abandoned office type of deal.
Yeah.
But the
Little
game already
Uncanny
exists
Valley.
now, so exactly, yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I don't know. I mean, like, I didn't really draw anything up. I used ChatGPT to come up with some images for me. Don't kill me, please.
Hey, I think it's completely appropriate to use if it's used as inspiration, not as doing all the work.
That's kind of what it was. It was more of a general, a way of being like, how could this work? You know, sort of idea. again, not that I drew anything up, and not that this game even exists. It was just an idea, and if it does come time to it, I would
make it.
Do the
do something
shit and whatnot. But yeah. Anyways, let's continue.
Yeah, we're here. For your items, I have 3 items because there's there's an item I think you probably just saw it, but it's something that we have interacted with this week. You'll know it when you see it. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Would you want to go first, or wait? No, I have 3. I have one I can show first.
So I'll have you go. You'll go. Okay. Ahead and go first.
I'm gonna start with the oldest thing that I have here. I might have texted you about this. I'm not sure. I went to Hot Springs last year. There's a Walmart 40 minutes away. I needed to get something so I could watch Voodoo in Hot Springs because the motel I went to did not have HD TVs. So I had to get an auxiliary, or like the red, white, and yellow cables. I had to get one of those, a converter, to be able to convert that from HDMI or that to HDMI. And so when I went to Walmart, I found this, and you're gonna know exactly what this is. You have one of these.
Oh god! But holy shit! It's the Steelbook,
and this is the They re-released all the Steelbooks in 4K.
I saw Wolfman today.
I've seen that one. I saw that
Wolfman at. I have to take a. I told you shit. I told you I was gonna look into my Steelbooks, and I didn't. I have them. They're still.
Yeah, I was gonna buy. Honestly, if you were able to, I don't remember. You might not have responded to me quick enough when I was at somewhere with my girlfriend to get one, or like I saw one out in the wild, and I'm like, I might get this thing for Drake and send it with the thing for Cy in the package.
Ooh. Okay.
And so there'd be a little something for the 2 of you.
Oh, I appreciate
but I didn't hear back in time.
No, it's all good. I mean, the thought is appreciated nonetheless. I told Alexia, I told her because I sent you some pictures.
Yeah.
And I was like, not that I can, unfortunately, like, maybe one of these days I'll send you something, but I was like, every time I see something Jaws related in the wild, I'm like, I have to send it to Ben. So that's why you got those 2. You got those 2 pictures.
What earlier. Was okay? So one of them was like the sand thing.
Yes.
Was the other one the cup?
Yes, it was.
That is the cup that I got ID'd for.
Did you really?
That's the exact cup that I got ID'd for.
That's crazy. That's actually really funny.
The most insane $7 I've ever spent.
Jeez. That is the most crazy. They had a whole section. They also had if I had expendable money, I totally would have gotten some, but there were some Goosebumps action figures that they also had.
Walmart has had that horror. They had a whole Killer Clowns from Outer Space section for that last year.
Did they really?
Walmart has had that horror section for the past year, so don't sleep on Walmart for horror stuff right now.
No, they have a lot of really good, like, nerdy, like real nerd, like collectible stuff for horror fans and stuff. And like I said, the Goosebumps stuff that they came out with was really cool. And
yeah,
the box was like looked like the book,
the old books. Yeah,
the pages. I
love those.
It's right here. This was great.
I would have bought them all if same thing as you. If I had the expendable money to just buy action figures.
Dude, I know. One of these days, we'll be able to live our full.
I'll make exceptions
lives
for some things, but not action figures.
Exactly. I know. I get you. For me, I'm gonna do my first one. This is very much just because I have 2. One of them is the main attraction. This other one just kind of
exists,
but so I decided to include it. So This is another one of my many pieces of Ice Nine Kills memorabilia. It's literally just a cup with their logo on it. I don't know why. I mean, I think out of any band that I have like out there, I think the most merchandise that I own for one is Ice Nine Kills. 100%. Alexia really likes them, so they're like, out of every band, the one that me and Alexia like the most, like together, is Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah.
Like if we had a couple band, it would be them. And they release merch like they release a new merch line once every month. Let alone they're just like standard merch and stuff. I don't even remember where this cup came from. I think maybe it came from like a VIP package for one of the tours we went and saw them in. But inside the cup is what I'm holding for the main attraction, which we will do. We will do after Ben does it. Yeah.
You know what I just thought about? There's probably people who have watched the channel like years ago when we were doing Minecraft videos, and they're probably like, "Holy crap! How do these two guys have girlfriends and I don't?"
It's a good question. I kind of wonder that myself sometimes. Like,
yeah,
interesting.
Anyways, you'll know this next one. I'm doing like the most special one for last, but
Get you.
The Jaws coloring book. Drake sends me a picture the other day, and he's like, "Dude, look at this." I don't think you sent me any text, but it was essentially like, "Dude, look at this." That's whenever we send each other a picture. That's just what it is. And I had literally purchased this the night before.
That is crazy. Have you done anything in it yet?
No, I was gonna like do like recording of it. Like I was gonna do like a time lapse of me coloring it in.
Dude, that's actually really good content.
Because that's like some relaxing stuff. This is a high quality coloring. Look at that,
dude. You know what else kind of surprised me? So right next to it, and you might have seen it as well, because it seems like we have copy and paste Walmarts. So right next to the Jaws one, there was a choose your own slasher adventure coloring book, and I looked inside.
I haven't seen that one.
Dude, it looked pretty intense because there's literally images of a guy getting an axe to the head.
Oh my god!
I'm like, this is in Walmart. Or like another one, there was a guy who had a bunch of like spikes like in his body.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I'm here for it, but I would not have expected this being
to be at Walmart.
Approved for Walmart, exactly.
Yeah.
But people, we enjoy that.
They be out here.
They really be out here.
Wonder where I'm putting myself with this green screen. I think I'm just sitting there with like the slashers, with like around.
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Probably.
I'll have to see. I'll have to take a look at it once you edit it and stuff.
Yeah. I've edited the first two. I just don't know when to upload. I need to get the page going for the actual Spotify or like the Spotify and stuff, because it's a little different than like the music is. I can pretty much instantly upload those and not have to worry about it being pushed.
The music or the podcast?
The podcast.
I was going to say everyone and their mom's got a podcast. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, what was it? Tyler, the Creator, the rapper.
Oh, I saw that.
About how there needs to be less podcasts.
Yes.
I'm like, I get it. And then other people in the comments were like, Tyler needs to chill out. Most of those people have day jobs. Like the two of us, we have day jobs. We just want to conversate and have opinions on things, To
be fair, we've recorded podcasts before, just never uploaded them to official.
That is true. Like we were slightly ahead of the podcast boom.
Well, even when we did Minecraft, there were like we would like those Minecraft streams. They would be titled podcast because they were essentially just a lot of those Minecraft streams were essentially just long form podcast with Minecraft in the background.
Hey, also, real quick, are you seeing me all right in the camera?
Yeah.
Because, I'm getting like a notification on the side saying that my frame rate is low.
Yeah, so. It looks no different than it normally does, honestly. Okay. And it's your laptop camera, correct?
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised the camera in that thing is holding up as well as it is. Or it's actually as good as I...
I need to get a new computer. My girlfriend keeps saying, she's like, "Do you want me to get a new computer for you for like my birthday or like Christmas and stuff?" I'm like, "No, don't worry about it. Well, I'll figure it out."
Just need an SSD.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show the last one, and then
I got one.
So I have a lot of strong opinions on this. So when this was released, there were people who, the overall consensus of this is that people did not like it. I, however, did, and I pray that they make this a seasonal release. And that would be the Beetlejuice Haunted Apple.
Oh.
That Fanta released when Beetlejuice came out. Yes. I loved this.
Yeah.
I thought the taste was great. The taste isn't like a regular... like Fanta. I think obviously an orange Fanta is never going to be beaten. However, it literally tasted like the Halloween season in a can. and I loved it. And there was a lot of people who were like, "This tastes gross. It tastes like I'm drinking a candle." And I kind of get where you're coming from, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope that they bring this back as just a Halloween seasonal release because it was great, and I think it would be a shame if they shelved it forever.
Well,
And so I wanted to keep a can because I was like, this is great.
I mean, the market's going to be open now that Mountain Dew Voodoo is no more.
Wait, it's not?
Voodoo's done. Yeah, it's getting replaced by it's like a gummy worm flavor that they're doing now.
And so that's like their Halloween flavor?
It's releasing around Halloween. It's kind of just taking the spot of Voodoo. To be fair, Voodoo the last few years has kind of not been great, but at the same time, it's always like, oh, Voodoo's out.
It was like a cool thing. I remember we did it the first, like, we tried it out. We did a whole review.
We had a popular video that came out, very big YouTube short.
And so it was kind of like a nice little thing. I don't know if I tried it the last year or not, because I was
last year's not good.
So obsessed with this haunted apple. Like, I bought it every time I saw it, because I'm like, this is gonna go away. This is gonna go away. I have to keep it going. And it's even funny. There's a small, like, I was just chilling out. It was like, I want to say it was like February, and I'm walking around Mills, and I go into one of those like small shops, whatever shops in the mall, and they had a drink thing. They had like a whole shelf of the haunted apple. I got one because I was like, I wanted to get more, but I was like, this is still sitting here, and it's February, and this shit started coming out like September or something like that.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean, like, but
probably
I'm really
hasn't been refrigerated properly, so it's not holding.
Exactly. So I'm really hoping that we get some sort of apple themed Fanta drink.
Yeah.
Who's coming up here?
Maybe they'll just put out just regular apple. Like, maybe they'll just put out apple and be like,
yeah, I think that'd be super cool. And Fanta, please
sponsor us. Sponsor us. Don't listen to Drake. Just sponsor us. Give us money.
Put me on this can instead of. I promise you, my face will be a lot cheaper.
Call it Fruity Virgin.
That
sour Fruity Virgin.
Listen, I was called both of those too much in high school. Okay,
who did it? Let me kick their ass. Oh fuck! It was me.
They wouldn't.
Shit.
They wouldn't say it. They wouldn't say it to my face. I would just have to hear about it. Not that I was a scary kid or anything. Got fucking.
Wait, did people genuinely call you?
Stone told me one time that he was in an ag class, and some of them were calling me flamboyant or feminine or something like that. I think they were saying I was feminine.
Oh yeah?
And he was standing up for me. Stone was standing up for me. We were, when push came to shove, me and Stone were pretty ride or die. Yeah. Honestly, I still remember there was it was 8th grade, so I don't think you were here.
I've heard the story of 8th grade.
Dude, I was so ready to throw hands, and it all started because they were fucking with Stone, and I was like, this is gonna get ugly real quick. And I'm surprised. Yeah. Like, it took Thompson to step in, and we finally chilled out. But there was a moment I thought I was gonna swing on the main man. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And if I did, that would have been a legendary Civil War moment for our class. It would have been crazy. Yeah. I would probably, in all reality, would have gotten my ass handed to me. I mean, it is what it is. I was, string being little boy who played video games every day. He was heavy into football and stuff. So, but I would have went down swinging. I didn't give a fuck.
No, those guys wouldn't have been as big as they looked or they seemed, because those guys did 10% of everyone else I knew at other schools.
Yeah. But what's 10% versus 0%,
Hey,
I don't know. It's fun to think about sometimes, but
rage is more, you get more power with rage than you do if you're just
Oh dude, it was I'm surprised. I mean, there was another universe where that happened. I mean, it was the moment was a split-second decision to control myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not like I don't like to think that I'm an angry person, but sometimes I get and I think I get it from my dad because he's mentioned it before too, but like the tunnel vision.
Yeah.
I mean, did I tell you about the time I almost swung on some kids at Fashion Square?
No.
Oh my god, dude. Alexia told me she was like, she's never seen me like this. But, I'll try to keep it quick and then we can but essentially what was going on is we were at Fashion Square and there were these kids on one of those, electric scooters that were inside the mall, and the one on the scooter drove really close to me and Alexia as we were coming down, and they clipped her ankle.
Oh.
And she already had a bad ankle from playing soccer in high school, and I lost it. I've never like, as the kids say, I've never crashed out that hard in public ever. I was I was literally I had to one of them like, I was going at them, and one of them squared up to me, and it took me, like I had to, like, reset myself, and I looked him up and down, and I'm like I literally said, I was like, "You're 15 years old." And I had to reset because I was like 20, 21 when this happened,
Yeah.
and I had to like fully reset myself. And so I just like I was like, I can't do this. Like I like if I swing on these kids, like I will get arrested. And so we walked out, and we were at the whole time we were walking out, they were behind me, chirping, calling me, all the things that a middle school kid would say, and I
Yeah.
had to that was probably one of the biggest self-control moments I've ever had in my entire life. It was insane, but, yeah, it just happens sometimes. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't gotten in a fight yet.
I have to self-control every day.
Oh my god, I get it. Anyways,
yeah,
let's get to your final choice here.
Final item. This thing sold out everywhere.
Shit.
I placed an order. Walmart, it was for like a same day delivery. Walmart stepped up. They tracked one down, even though they should have just canceled the order and refunded it. They tracked one down and had one overnighted to my local Walmart to have it delivered the next day.
Holy crap.
This is the 50th anniversary steelbook of Jaws.
Holy shit.
This cover is freaking dope. I don't know if you can see it.
It's very saturated. I'm looking at it. It's very saturated, very shiny.
It's classic. It's like a classic movie poster, like where it looks like all the. I mean, it's probably done by AI because
Like
Universal.
hand-painted?
It looks hand painted, but it's probably done by AI because Universal has been botching stuff with 3D. Side note, they did a remaster for Jaws 3D in 3D. And they used AI on it to upscale it, and so now all of the background people, like a year or two ago when AI would make people's faces, it just couldn't do it at the time.
Yeah,
it looks like that. They're all like blurry and they look non-human.
That's crazy.
And I have a steelbook for that as well that I will show next week.
I will say it is kind of crazy that Universal is using AI, like low key. I mean, I would need to get more context of like what who is actually using it for.
Yeah,
because I do know there's a lot of people were in this context. I don't think there's an issue with it, but there was a Pixar confirmed that they're using AI to help with rendering time with things, and people were like, it's a slippery slope, man. Like, you start using it for that and you're gonna start taking jobs, and it's like, you guys need to calm down. I think I recently there's a YouTuber I watch. I don't know if I've talked to you about him, but his name is JJ McCullen. And
he's JJ McCullen.
He's like a political current events commentator on YouTube. He's Canadian, so he does a lot of Canadian American relation type videos, but he literally just dropped a video talking about AI, and he kind of came in with a more moderate approach to it, if that makes sense. And I'm glad to see it. I think it was a really nice take on it, and I think it's with the political climate that everything, and I'm not going to get too political with things, but everyone has to have, it feels like everyone is trying to have a radicalized opinion on everything. It doesn't matter. Like, you have to have an opinion on everything, and I'm personally getting sick of it. I'm like, I don't want to have an opinion on everything. So it was and he kind of made a comment on that. He was like, there's not a lot of moderate opinions on AI, so I'm going to come in with a moderate opinion on it. And it was nice seeing that video. So
no, for sure. Man, we've just been all over the place. Who would have thought?
I know we have, and we actually did have an idea of what we are going to do. So
I think it kind of works because I don't know how we're going to stretch this topic into an extremely long topic. So
that's true.
I think it definitely.
I had some ideas of things that I wanted to ask you about.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So the topic of the day, about what I would imagine is probably gonna be halfway through the video. I was gonna find a way to try and organically bring it up, but I'm too lazy right now. But we're talking biopics is what we're talking about. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Obviously, biopics has the theme, like the biopic genre has become very popular within the last decade or so. I mean, biopic movies have always existed. I mean, if you even think about it, like the earliest works of, writing and play and whatnot are biopics, when you talk about Caesar and, things that Shakespeare and wrote and stuff like that. But we have recently been seeing a large influx of them, and it's really culminating. You either have people who are still excited for them, people who almost like think of it as like Marvel movies almost, they're just becoming like like, oh, what Marvel movies are coming out, what biopic movies are coming out. And I think right now we are seeing what is going to be the culmination of biopics, and that I would say is going to be these Beatle movies that are coming out. I think is really going to be a moment that will make or break biopics.
Yeah,
it's almost like a very think of it as, I don't want to call it the end game of biopics, but this has been a biopic idea that I've been hearing being mentioned multiple times since they started doing these. And the fact that they're making it this big 4-picture project is making it that much more insane.
I'm worried.
And why is that?
I'm a little iffy on that cast.
Okay. I have a take on this. All right. I have a take on this. I get it, but I'm going to wait till I have an opinion on it until I see them in full Beatles. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of weird castings that you see in things, but once you see them as the character, that is the make or break. And I do understand that a lot of them, they don't, as they are themselves, do not give off the Beatles persona. But I mean, if you think about it, did Timothée Chalamet really look like, Bob Dylan? I mean, not really until he put on the hair and, did the whole shebang.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is my John Lennon.
That makes sense, but I think he's a little too old now.
No, the AI.
Oh, true.
De-age him.
True, but it'll be. I'm personally still excited to see how this is going to be done.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not I'm still holding out hope. But it's definitely, I'm going to wait to really give an opinions on it until I see it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So, but with that, we could talk about biopics that were done right and done wrong.
Yeah, I need to pull up a list of biopics.
No, I get it. I think we did do some, I don't know how, we did one biopic when we initially did our movie reviews, which I would say with how things are currently, it would be a miss not to comment on it, and that would be Love and Mercy.
Yes.
Which is the
I think about that one
on Brian Wilson.
Yeah, that is like the biopic I think about. Because I remember that movie being so fun to watch.
It was a good movie. It was a very good movie, and it was very interesting the way they did it. And I think I've heard when biopic movies really started coming up, a lot of people use Love and Mercy as an example of a good way to do it. And the reason why is because a lot of biopics do a whole culmination of the person's entire life. And it's very hard to do that properly in a 2.5-hour setting, where Love and Mercy focused on 2 specific points of Brian Wilson's life. And it really helped you honestly kind of understand him as a person a little bit more by focusing in on these two important times in his life versus trying to overall show you who he is, where those two big parts of his life would have just been 30 minutes, if even 30, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
on screen.
No,
So,
literally.
and, obviously with him passing away recently, it does add a little bit of a sting to it, because he did, overall, his life, I think, is seen as sort of sad, just with everything that he's been through and things
Yeah.
like that. I would like to think in his twilight years, as we're going to call it, that he did find a sense of peace, but when you're, I don't know, I feel like it's very hard. Like, when you live a life like that, I don't know if you ever really do. You know what I mean? If that
Yeah.
makes sense. Not to put a downer on it, but it just to me it feels that way.
Yeah, and
You know?
and I know he was going through a lot of stuff, and I don't even know if he was really there near the end, from what I hear.
No, that would make sense. He already struggled with mental illness early in his life, so adding to that when you're getting essentially like lobotomized naturally,
and then
you're adding to that point.
Even in the middle of his life, he was pretty much abused, like at every single point of his life, all the way from childhood to adulthood.
I know, and it's unfortunate, but yeah, I think Love and Mercy is a very good way of captivating that art, showing that version of him, and it really shows why he is the way he was.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
But
and
outside of that, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what I was gonna say. Sorry, I'm so brain shot.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm taking a look here, and I'm realizing there are more biopics than I would have initially thought. I know there are some popular ones, like Walk the Line, the Elvis biopic that recently came out, straight out of Compton.
I have a
I haven't
biopic
seen any of these. Oh, you did?
That I loved that came out. You've probably heard of it. It's the biopic. It takes place in one day. Saturday night. The biopic about the first night of Saturday Night Live.
I wanted to see that. So bad, because I love these. That's one thing that I do like, and also the fact that it is one night, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
I like those movies that take the entertainment industry and show you the behind the scenes elements of it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense,
Absolutely. Just Finn Wolfhard just showing up out of nowhere, like the first shot of the movie.
Is he really? Who's he play?
Oh, he just plays a kid on the street, like handing out flyers for the first show.
Funny. I need to see that. I remember seeing that being advertised. And I wanted to see it, and I'm actually kind of disappointed in myself that I haven't.
I would do a whole episode dedicated to that as well. Like just that one movie, I would. I love that movie.
I'll need to check it out. I think that'll be fun.
And then you could even go back and watch the first season of Saturday Night Live just to kind of comment on it too. Just
there you go.
But
what was another one we watched was which I don't know if you can call it a biopic, because I know it is kind of sort of fictionalized in a sense. But Gods and Monsters, I think is that what it's called? Gods and Monsters?
Yeah, it's something, I think so. If not that, it's a very close title.
Yeah, which is talking about the director. Yeah, Gods and Monsters. It's talking about the original director of a lot of the early
Uni Monster.
Yep.
What was his
Monsters,
name?
James Whale.
James Whale.
Who is a polarizing figure, to say the least. He was very egotistic, from what you can gather from the film. Very egotistical, very full of himself. He was very how do I put it? Kind of what we imagine upper people in Hollywood, upper Hollywood execs are like. Kind of how we see them now. The very take what they want sort of mentality. Seemed like he seemed like he had a lot of demons himself. I mean, he inevitably did end up killing himself in the end of in the end,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. But the telling is sort of a fictionalized telling because they do bring in a character that is sort of his. He's like a well, what kind of job would you say he was?
I don't
Like a
even remember.
servant, some sort of
That's
servant type
yeah.
character, which was played by Brendan Fraser, and that person that he's playing did not exist in real life. He did not exist. So we're seeing it through this like weird like third person, fourth person view sort of thing. Third person, maybe I guess would be the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting film. I liked seeing Boris Karloff in it.
Yeah. Yeah, as much as you can say. Jack Betts. I honestly, that movie, I remember when we watched that was like, I think we literally watched that in October or something, or maybe it was right before Stone's wedding, because that was like the last movie we watched before.
Was it really?
Something around because the next day you were literally like you were hopping on a plane within 12 hours of us watching this movie.
I don't remember that. That's funny though.
It is it's kind of like a fever dream. Like I remember that we liked this movie.
Yes.
And we were kind of confused at the beginning of us watching it because we were both like, huh, this isn't what we thought it was.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot of. It quickly becomes uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that is the point of the film.
Absolutely.
It shows you, again, those really dark moments that the really dark things that he kind of became, essentially.
Yeah.
And we don't have to get too much into it, because, yeah.
It's I don't know if we should be commenting on the topic of what that film kind of alludes to.
Yeah, we don't have to get into it. Is there any biopics that you remember watching that you did not think did well? Like it in the grand scheme of things, so you watched it, even like either like the film just itself was not good, or like looking into how the actual story was, it just did not hit properly. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like you're just like there's a lot of like inaccuracies in the actual story sort of thing.
I'm kind of looking. I have a list pulled up because I'm realizing I've seen a lot more biopics than I have. Well, I have seen more than I've realized I have, but at the same time, I haven't realized some of these movies were biopics, which kind of leads me to this. One of the best biopics of the 2020s, Oppenheimer.
Yes, I saw that on the list. I saw that, and I agree with you. I thought that movie, not to like, and I feel like people who enjoy it are, not to say that you have to be a film nerd, but that's kind of like the stereotype of like, oh, you liked Oppenheimer, you must be such a, hipster type shit. I don't know.
There's a reason why it swept the Oscars.
I think it's great. I think it was a great film. And I didn't end up watching Barbie. However, the whole Barbenheimer thing I thought was fantastic. I thought the marketing, because I don't think the two companies really, or the two movies really meant for that to happen. So this like weird organic marketing ploy scheme thing was so interesting. And I do know that a lot of people did try to replicate it with other double release dates that came out later, but they did not stick like Barbenheimer did. I mean, it was such a good thing. I loved it.
I Barbenheimered.
Did you?
We went to, my girlfriend and I went to like the first showing of Barbie, and then went straight to Oppenheimer.
I love that for you.
It was.
I really do.
She fell asleep during Oppenheimer, but it's a long movie, so
I get that. I wish I did. I feel like I missed out on like a cultural event.
It was so good. Honestly,
both of them?
No. Barbie was an absolute shit show.
Oh, that's rough.
Okay. I don't want to make too much of a comment on it, but and my girlfriend would agree with this. Barbie almost felt like a political speech in a way.
I've heard that a lot. I've heard people were like, if you didn't like Barbie, it's because you didn't agree with the political statement or whatever. And I feel like we're saying we're not trying to get political
Yeah.
in this. This has happened a few times, but just because something is political and doesn't mean that it's going to be good, even if it is something that you agree with. I did try to watch Barbie one time on a plane. I did end up falling asleep on it.
That's accurate.
I mean, I sleep on planes for the most part. I did try to watch it just because I was like, I feel like I need to watch it because of everything that happened with it. But to be fair, I can't personally make an accurate take on it.
Yeah.
Essentially.
To me, Barbie, I could never watch it again. I would have to see Barbie in a theater. Oppenheimer, I don't think you should watch it outside of a theater if you haven't seen it. They did like a lot of IMAX like film showings, like where they were playing like the 35 millimeter prints.
Had that here.
And they were sold out literally until they stopped showing it. There was not a single day where that theater was not completely packed. I never got to go.
I can't remember if we ended up doing it in the unfortunately I don't think I did see it that way. And that's another thing that I kind of wish I did.
Yeah.
Because it was right there. I mean, it was in Mill, you know, right where we watched the only IMAX movie. Yep, Ghostbusters. I was literally about to say, I was like, we saw Ghostbusters in the IMAX theater.
I may forget to ask you this for the rest of time. Back in 2022, I don't know if I told you about this or not, but they redid the original Jaws, and not redid it, but they did Jaws in 3D.
Oh shit.
And I told people to go to it. It ended up, everyone that I know, even that don't really love Jaws, said it was the best 3D movie experience that they have ever had. You felt like you were underwater in the theater. It was done so well. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And I don't even love 3D movies.
Dude, I didn't get to see that, and now I'm kind of bummed as well. There's a lot I need to start. I want to go back to the theater more. I think the big problem with it is it feels like every time I go to the theater, there's always some sort of thing happening in it. And what I mean by that is just that theater etiquette has been thrown out the fucking window recently, and I hate it because I feel like I'm like on edge of like, oh, this person here on my left is on their phone with their brightness fully up. These two over here, and we would talk during films, but we would be whispering between the two of us. We're not talking loud as shit. Like, are you kidding me? Like, the whole theater etiquette thing is insane. And I hate that it has, and I sound like an old person talking about this, but theater etiquette is gone, and it sucks because I love going to the theater.
Absolutely.
But at this point, it has become such a, for lack of a better way of describing it, because in the end of the day, it's not that bad, but it does sort of put a sour note on the movie and your night. Not only is that like the issue, like you're just trying to watch a movie. It's, people are like, it's just a movie, but it's not cheap either. Yeah. I think that's another point to make. I mean, it is not cheap. And usually people nowadays, you don't go to the theater, and it's another reason because of how the economy is and how expensive, getting tickets is, and getting, snacks and drinks and blah, 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 blah. And it's insane. And it's like you wasted your time and you wasted your money because this motherfucker over here won't shut up and get off their goddamn phone.
I went to Insidious: The Last Door, directed by Patrick Wilson, because they finally brought Patrick Wilson back for the Insidious franchise.
I need to see it.
I went there, and it was on, I think it was either a Saturday night or a Sunday night. Either way, big movie night. And there's this group of kids that comes in, and like the theater was sold out, so I had to like sit in the front section. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see this movie. I didn't care. And this group of kids comes in, and they're all sitting on their phone, brightness all the way up, playing like Clash of Clans. And at one point, this other girl's like, right before the movie's about to start, she goes, "Hey, my boyfriend and I are about to leave, and we're not going to go like refund our tickets because it's getting too late. And so we thought that you could just go and have our seat so you don't have to sit next to these children. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are the greatest.
Dude, there was a movie, I forgot which one it was, but it was me, Alexia, and Sai. And there was these kids off to the left, again, on their phone, talking the entire time. It was distracting all of us. And it got to the point where I literally went up to them and I like bent down. I was like, hey guys, I'm trying to watch a movie. Can you stop talking? You know? And they did, to their credit. But what was funny about it is the movie ended and we were getting up. A lady I didn't know came up to me and thanked me for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was like, I want to say thank you for, talking to those kids. Like they were bothering us as well and stuff. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Like it's insane. And I've had many crash outs before in theaters. I did yell one time for someone to tell someone to shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
I think it was during what was it? I want to say it was during a horror movie. I want to say it was during Late Night with the Devil.
Oh.
And just fuckers wouldn't stop talking, and I was like, shut the shut the fuck up. And then of course everyone turns at me and looks at me like I'm the bad guy. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I need
to get off because it bothers me so much.
I want to preface everything by saying that one time Drake and I went to a showing of Ghostbusters in Scottsdale, Arizona at like 11 o'clock at night. This is for the original Ghostbusters movie. And him and I ended up being the only people in the theater. So we sat on opposite sides of the theater on the very top row, and we would shout to conversate. We did that. Yeah. That was...
I don't remember that.
I don't even remember why we were in Scotts. I think we just went just because we said fuck it because your mom wasn't in town. I was thinking to see, was this the night that like Stone and Shelby were there on their honeymoon? And it's like no, because we went to go see that James Wan movie. I can't remember the name, but the one with McKenna Grace.
The one with the head on the back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But I don't remember why maybe it's because they were the only one showing Ghostbusters at. Hey, it's Future Ben here, and there was a technical event that occurred at this point in the podcast, so it's just going to jump ahead here just a couple of moments. So thank you for your patience.
Yes.
And that's like Ghostbusters.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Ghostbusters in Scottsdale. We could reset the conversation a little bit, maybe. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to any of that.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Let's reset it then. I gotta. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying, hey Ben, reset.
Oh, okay. So I have a question because we were talking about McKenna Grace, and that made me think of The Conjuring. Yes. This is a bit of an interesting. I just thought of this. Would you accept it if someone referred to that as a biopic? Because you know where I'm getting at with this, right? It's like it's technically based. They say it's based on a true story. We're talking about the first one,
yeah.
Because I know the second one is also, but it starts becoming very like a lot more of a
when they introduce Valak
creative liberties and stuff like that. But let's say the first one, is more based on the actual events that allegedly happened.
I think the first one could technically fit under the realm of a biopic.
I could honestly agree.
I mean, the only part that I wouldn't would be like the maid, like Bathsheba, like in The Devil and stuff. That stuff obviously wasn't real. It's just there for no, Bathsheba was real, but like not the actual her appearing as a demonic being, because that stuff doesn't actually exist. Oh shoot, I just gave away. If we shoot another ghost show, I just told them all my secrets.
Man, you're getting too religious here. Anti-religion here. Sorry.
I could go on that train all day.
Oh, maybe one day we will. We'll go full ear biscuits,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if Gods and Monsters is considered a biopic, and that's a fictionalized biopic, you could honestly, even if you don't agree with it, like say that everything that happened, you could essentially say that it's a sort of biopic, which I kind of thought was interesting. which I mean, kind of starts opening up the doors to a lot of those other horror movie based on events like the Amityville horror, others that I can't think of off the top of my head right now.
If with what you just said about Amityville Horror, if we're going off of logic of that being a biopic, that means horror was really, because Amityville Horror is a movie from the 70s.
Yeah.
So that one, I mean, I think that one you could, I think the original movie could be almost considered a biopic, because I know that one, nothing really happens in that movie. Amityville Horror 2, our favorite incest movie in history.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Oh my god.
Oh, I forgot where I put. I think it might have been on Letterboxd that I like my review of Amityville Horror 2 is something about it being an incest movie, and I think like people started liking that review because I think everyone's like, holy shit, yes, it is.
Dude, I mean it really is. I mean, they weren't even step siblings, were they? They were
literally siblings, yeah.
Just crazy.
I remember when we watched that movie, I think me and Johnny were sitting in the living room that night, and we're just like, we watched like 3 or 4 horror movies that night.
Jeez. You say you blocked out that time period in your head. I must have, or something. I actually thought this was such a problem that I even brought it up to my doctor of like how bad my memory retention is.
Yeah.
I don't remember these details. Like I remember watching it at the apartment, and that was about it. I knew obviously you were there. I didn't remember Johnny being there.
Yeah,
honestly.
Johnny was there. We watched that movie. We watched one of the Ring movies that night too. Maybe that day we had watched the first Amityville, or like the OG, the old one. But yeah, we watched like 4 movies. We were up till like 4 a.m.
Jeez, that sounds about accurate though.
Yeah, that was like middle of COVID. So
yeah, that's accurate. So, this would bring me to my last question I have for you. And I have a little list myself, but my question to you would be, what would be a biopic movie you would like seen made, essentially? Is there anyone that you've seen you're like, they need a biopic movie?
Oh, absolutely. I've thought about it. I've literally thought of making it myself. Early Blink-182.
Shit.
You could literally start the movie with Mark Hoppus talking about the day he met Tom DeLonge, where he jumped off of a streetlight and broke both of his ankles.
Oh my god. They had a pretty interesting, I think they do have an interesting story, especially of them breaking up, getting back together, the whole shebang and whatnot.
Mark's book dives really deep into that stuff that you never really hear. I couldn't tell you anything off the top of my head, but that is like the only book I've like read since graduating high school.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is that also coexists with one of my choices, which is a biopic for Panic at the Disco. I thought would be very interesting, because that band went through so many variations, and there are so many, like, very era based is the best way to describe it. It felt like each album had a different lineup.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. And the story of how or what happened to each of those members have their own, could almost be their own movie respectively, And I thought that would be a super solid take. And, it could be the start of the end of yours, because they were a Blink-182 cover band to start off with. So it goes full circle.
Oh my gosh. That could work perfectly. But I've genuinely thought of like a Blink-182 biopic, and it's going to make them a bunch of money.
Oh yeah, you could definitely right now. They're one of the big things to capitalize on with biopic movies is nostalgia.
Yeah,
and with Blink-182, you're definitely capitalizing on the Gen X millennial demographic.
Yeah.
Because right now I don't like. There hasn't been like outside of Straight Outta Compton, all of the new biopic movies are bands that were popular 70s and back. I don't even really think we've really even seen anything from the 80s.
Yeah.
So, now you're gonna move into the 90s and you got that whole crowd just like going crazy.
Yeah. Or another biopic I'd love would be, nobody would want to watch it, but I'd love to see a biopic about the victims.
Dude. I like that. Listen, I think honestly also them being which for context for anyone, the Victims is a band from the 80s that Ben's very own father was in.
Yeah.
They released one album, right? Or did they release anything else?
It was one album and a bunch of singles, and they were very popular in the Midwest.
So, and I think that it comes up with this idea of which is, I'm ripping this off from a Panic at the Disco song, but I love the concept behind the title. It's a local god is the best way to explain it. Do you know what I'm getting at with that term? Like it's someone who, it's a very local celebrity, but they're like over the top. Like I would describe like Calabrese and Terror Trader as like local gods to Arizona and the horror community out here and stuff like that. Or we also have Raffi, who he's recently, do you know who I say when I say that? Do you remember his billboards?
I don't.
No, that's totally fine. So recently this guy's been getting a huge up boost in popularity, but we have a lot of Raffi injury law firm billboards out here, and he is advertised everywhere. And he this year specifically has gotten excessively popular with like the Gen Z, Gen Alpha crowd to the point where this last week some like there was an official Raffi lookalike contest that was held in downtown Phoenix with Raffi there himself.
Oh my god.
So, and it's like if you ever see Phoenix, Arizona TikToks, one of the first things you'll see pop up is people talking about Raffi and like who's Raffi and why is he all over the place type of deal. So, I think the local god take is a good idea, and because they're smaller, the story I think would be even more interesting, because it's not one that people know.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
And honestly, I would love to get as much information as I could from them, because none of those guys are going to be around for too much longer. They all have mega health concerns.
Jeez.
Like,
I'm sorry.
I know at least two of them are pretty much, one of them is on the verge of death, pretty much. The other one is not.
Is it who I think it is, or is it?
It's probably the one you're thinking of.
Okay. Jeez,
which it's okay. Sorry. Oh no, it's okay. I'm chilling.
Okay. That's good. What's another one? And I think this one would be an interesting pick. And we haven't seen a biopic like this. And so I'm interested on your take on this. Smosh.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one.
I think Smosh should be a really cool idea, and we haven't seen any biopics of, and what I mean by that is like we haven't seen any biopics of internet celebrities. Mm-hmm. Everything, obviously, musicians are the biggest popular thing. We get a lot of political ones. I think politics has been presidents and stuff has been a very popular continuation of things. I don't really feel like we see anything with actors. I'm actually kind of thinking about that. You don't really see any actor biopics.
No, I literally have it pulled up. It's mostly historical figures, and I feel like a lot of these actors are just not significant enough recently. I mean, obviously you really only get like biopics of like people like Charlie Chaplin and like a lot of those older guys.
That's true. I totally forgot about that. Robert Downey Jr. did. Yeah. I didn't see that. I heard that one's really good too.
Because I mean, besides that, I mean, you're really just getting like Marilyn Monroe, James Dean,
and a lot of their lives were fictionalized as well. A lot of them are more fiction than reality. I think, and especially with Marilyn Monroe, There's a lot of theories about her and her life and stuff like that. I mean, even if the evidence points to it being yes, there's really no concrete evidence of it, and
Yeah.
it's and a lot of that stuff bleeds into biopics and stuff. It's like either you leave it out because it's not confirmed, or you put it in and it, then you get the whole conversation going. It's.
I just thought of a more recent biopic that kind of, from what I remember, there was a lot of it based off of like one actor specific. Obviously, there's another actor who it's obviously going to be about, but isn't there like a little bit of it in the film Disaster Artist? You get both Tommy Wiseau and Mark.
God, you're right. I totally forgot about that movie. That's a really good biopic movie.
No, it is. Wow. I remember when we were trying to look for it and we just could not find it anywhere on the internet.
I never even saw The Room.
Guess what?
What?
After 5 years, you can finally, like as of like 3 weeks ago, you can purchase the movie The Burbs on Fandango at home or /Voodoo. It took 5 years since we've been looking. Because remember, we had to go to Zia specifically for us to review that movie.
Because we had to buy a physical copy of it.
Yeah, because you could not buy that on streaming. Or watch on streaming.
Pretty crazy, which, by the way, I would say is actually a pretty underrated Tom Hanks movie. I mean, a lot of people, obviously people enjoy it.
Yeah.
But you never hear it as like a top pick for a Tom Hanks movie. And even to be fair for me, I don't know if I would even consider it one of my favorites, but like one of my top ones, but it's still a solid movie.
Yeah. Do you consider it a underrated Carrie Fisher movie, or an overrated Corey Feldman movie, or an underrated Courtney Gaines movie? That's the guy who plays Malachi in Children of the Corn.
I forgot all these guys right here. I'm literally looking at the cast, and I totally forgot that these guys, that like Corey Feldman and Carrie Fisher. I don't even know if I even actively knew I was watching Carrie Fisher in the movie, but I remember Corey Feldman being in it. Thinking about it now,
he was almost fired from that movie.
Oh, was it because he was like all freaking drugged out?
Yeah, pretty much at that point. And he was like, what, 16 years old? He's probably on more drugs than Carrie Fisher.
It's crazy take.
Well, it's probably true.
It's funny. You know what's funny is did we end up watching it? Because he has a biopic, The Tale of Two Courses.
Yeah. I don't know if we reviewed it, but we definitely watched it.
Yeah, because yes, you're right. Because I do remember seeing the scene with him and Michael Jackson, and then the scene with him and Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. Oh my God, the guy who played the deputy in Jaws and Jaws 2 is actually in The Burbs. What?
You need to start doing 6 Degrees of Jaws.
No, honestly, every Jaws movie has an actor that has pretty much been huge in film. Like, obviously...
Do a whole video based on that.
Yeah, I should.
I think you should.
I mean,
by the way, everyone, Ben does solid movie facts on TikTok.
We're on YouTube too. You can watch them on YouTube
as well. Yes.
Yeah, they come out on TikTok first though.
So
like the ones ones on TikTok that are out now aren't even out on YouTube until like next week. So
there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You gotta plug the game. Do you have anyone else that you would think of for
biopics?
Yeah, I have one more pick, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, if you want to let me know, I'll keep looking to see if I see anything else.
All right. For me, and this actually, I need to watch it because fun fact, there is a biopic of this guy. His name is Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller is he's a I'm trying to think, a big band leader from the 1940s. He was popular from the 1930s and 1940s, and he was a hit maker, and the big thing about him is that he became very active in World War II.
Wait, what do you know?
That'll be us. That'll be us, unfortunately. No, he was very active in World War II and stood heavily against the Nazi regime and Hitler and stuff, to the point where he was. I mean, one of my favorite songs that he came out with was called "When That Man Is Dead and Gone," and it's literally a song about the world celebrating the day that the man with the small mustache is down in hell. I mean, he's literally like, talking about Satan in the song and like Hitler dying and going to hell and stuff. And this is a song from the 40s.
Yeah.
And so he held no holds barred back, and he was so passionate about this war that he was like in his late 30s, so he wasn't getting drafted, but he enlisted into the US Air Force at this time and joined the Air Force and actively fought in the war. And unfortunately, his life did have a tragic ending where he and another gentleman went up in a plane and disappeared. They don't know what happened to him, but he was declared dead. He straight up Amelia Earhart style. There's a lot of theories that he was shot down that their plane was shot down by enemies, but their plane was never found.
Yeah.
And so it just adds this element to him. I think he's a complete badass. I think his music is awesome for what it was in the 40s. I think he had a lot of really good songs from the 40s, and just how insane he was in regard to enlisting and being actively involved in this war and stuff, I thought was pretty solid of him, And like I said, there was a biopic actually made about him, and I should watch it because and this tells you how old it was. Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, one of our favorites.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was like looking up Glenn Miller biopics, and the Glenn Miller story came up with Jimmy Stewart, and I was like, I need to see this because Jimmy is really good. And it is older, and I imagine that there's definitely probably a lot of what I would imagine. I'm gonna be straight up, just like a lot of like pro-American propaganda in it, because that's just how movies in that time was made, and Glenn Miller's story is perfect for that kind of mentality. But I would like to see a more modern take on it.
Yeah,
is kind of where I'm getting at with it. So, but Glenn Miller, super cool dude. Whenever I start posting about stuff, whenever I get into the 40s, you're going to hear me ramble about that guy for quite some time.
Oh, good old rambling.
Exactly.
Get that watch time.
Exactly.
It's the most important number nowadays on YouTube. I didn't really see. I was just looking. I really wasn't seeing any other biopics. I mean,
no.
You kind of just have like your generic ones, like your Bohemian Rhapsody. You have your Bob Dylan one they just did. I'm trying to think. I mean,
what I would say that as far as biopics go, and this might be a controversial take, but I would say that Bohemian Rhapsody is probably one of the more important. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like when Bohemian Rhapsody came out, that was when this whole modern trend of biopics started really going. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm talking
about? No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Between that and Rocket Man, with those two movies coming out, which I'm checking. I was wondering if they came out like pretty simultaneously. And Rocket Man came out in 2019.
Rhapsody came out in 2018, so yeah, pretty much hand in hand.
So yeah, that's around the time that we started seeing this like influx of the blueprint to how biopics were being made. That's what started it, essentially.
And that was like around the time where Gen Z was really getting introduced to the music of the 80s, 70s, like everything from the 50s all the way up.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because you could see that as I'm gonna call it the James Gunn effect, because that whole those songs were started being introduced into film and stuff, and the first film that I would say did that was Guardian of the Galaxy. Guardian of the Galaxy, they put in all those like classic like 70s 80s music into it, the trailers and stuff like that, and then it just started like spiraling.
Yeah,
and that's what everyone did for their trailers. That's what everyone did for their soundtracks and stuff like that. It continued on to Suicide Squad, even the one that he didn't do.
Yeah,
Between Guardians and Suicide Squad, that whole things started really culminating, and then we started getting these biopics. And
remember the day when his Suicide Squad came out? We were at Mills the day his Suicide Squad movie came out.
Oh yeah, because we were watching something else.
Yeah, we have. I forgot what we were watching, but I'm pretty sure we probably had a better time than they did.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting because I've recently been seeing a lot of everyone. Okay, I'm getting offhand. We can make a whole podcast talking about the state of superhero movies, and that might be a good thing. Might be a good thing to put on our list. But it's, everyone's so sick of Marvel, and it's interesting because it's like you would think that people would just be sick of superhero movies.
No, just
but everything I've been seeing recently, everyone is so excited for. It's like they're like,
Superman.
this is DC's time. DC is going to be taking over between Superman and they just announced that they finished the script for the Batman 2 movie, and so it's like it now is going to be the time that we are getting these superhero movies. And I think a lot of it is there's and again, and don't get me wrong, I could make a whole video essay on this because I am passionately, I give this man his flowers. James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm saying this, you could quote me on this. Guardians of the Galaxy was the most important Marvel movie to come out. And the reason why is because once that movie came out, that wrote the blueprint for the atmosphere for all the movies coming after it. Every single one of it. Because the movies before that were very dramatic and very intense based. And then Guardians came out and they added that element of comedy to it and that sort of satirical take on things. And they ran with it. And they're still doing it. And that's the problem. That movie came out well over 10 years ago, and they're still using that blueprint, and they beat it to death. But the thing is, when it worked, which happened, I would say, all the way till No Way Home.
Yeah.
No Way Home was the last one. After that, everything else after that, fuck all, So James Gunn absolutely killed it, and I know having him involved with DC, everyone's excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to say something? I could tell.
I was gonna say, Thunderbolts did not use that format.
Really?
And it's kind of sad because that movie is like nobody went to see it. But in my opinion, that is the best Marvel movie since No Way Home.
Wow.
And it's people probably would disagree with me, but I'm happy that it's not like there's obviously like some comedic relief. But Thunderbolts is like a depression movie. It's not a happy movie. It's like a depressing movie. Like literally the villain or like the antagonist is literally depressed. It's like it's the void, just a cloud of black. But
I should check it out, but I'm like, I also have not been keeping up with anything going on with that.
You don't need to watch anything else.
Really?
I wouldn't. No.
Yeah, and I know there's with the new there's two with the Batman and the Superman movie. I know that they're doing new takes on it as well. Yeah. The Batman one is not new, and what I'm getting at is that is following the Christopher Nolan path of grounded in reality, which again, this Christopher Nolan Batman movie is obviously one of the most important superhero movies, if not one of the most important films of our time.
The trilogy as a whole.
The whole trilogy, yeah. And because that set a whole new atmosphere. I mean, it really, before that, we had the Spider-Man trilogy, I think was the last popular superhero movie to come out.
Yeah.
But the whole superhero movie boom happened with the Dark Knight movies, and it did that whole grounded reality thing. They're keeping with that with Robert Pattinson, which is totally fine. I think Batman works perfect in that setting. And I never thought of this, but people are talking about Superman and how they're going to be going for more of a traditional comic book style with him. And I was like, and everyone's excited about that. And I was like, oh, that's kind of goofy. It's like the super, the whole comic book style happy-go-lucky thing has been overplayed. But if you take a minute to think about it, it really hasn't, because we haven't seen that in a long time, and it's an odd, fresh way of starting this up. And so I don't know if I'll see this Superman movie, but I am glad that there's like a new resurgence, like a new renaissance for these superhero movies, especially for DC, because they have been falling behind crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't, I probably will let you know. I will probably go see it either opening weekend or week after.
Yeah,
but I'm excited about Superman. James Gunn's done a lot of great work.
There were some movies that we saw that we didn't realize him. I remember. And I think one of the first ones that popped up in my mind, which I know now he is famous for, but the Scooby-Doo movies.
Mm-hmm. He wrote them. Yeah.
Super. I totally forgot about Super, which was with Rainn Wilson, and it's a dark comedy idea of a guy who he's kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like taking the idea of the whole concept of like if superheroes existed in our world type of thing, and it's a very dark comedy. I mean, you get to watch this. Have you seen the movie?
No, I have not.
Oh, dude, it is insane. You get to watch this I think we talked about like my yearn for just very unexpected deaths. Like it just like you blink and you miss it because that feels more realistic. This movie had one of those, and it had my jaw on the fucking floor. I don't know if you want me to say it or not, but
go ahead.
It was okay. So Rainn Wilson, he's a superhero guy, and like he's trying to be a superhero. He dresses up and all this shit, and his weapon of choice is like a wrench, or like a wrench, and he beats the shit out of people with it. And there's this girl who saw what he was doing, loved it, and became like his sidekick. Long story short, they get involved where they're trying to take down like a mafia drug cartel sort of thing, right?
Of course, as it does.
And so yeah, exactly. So the two of them are sneaking into their compound. And when they do, they get caught, and someone shoots at them with a shotgun. And after all is said and done, Rainn Wilson's character looks over at his sidekick, and her brains are fucking blown out. I mean, I was in shock, the fact that they killed her. I totally forgot that it happened. I'm looking at the movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened in that movie. It was insane. But yeah, I think James Gunn is actually in the movie too. I know his brother makes a cameo in it.
We might have to take back James Gunn's flowers.
Why?
He is responsible for writing or doing the final rewrites for the film 13 Ghosts.
That's rough.
He can keep his flowers, but we're gonna take one away. Take a single one.
Well, Matthew Lillard was in that movie, so we'll maybe give him one of his petals back for keeping Matthew.
That's he gets a petal back, not the whole flower that we took.
Giving him work, keeps giving him work, So, which maybe it's not best for that movie to be under Lillard's repertoire. But
the funniest part is that James Gunn won as an uncredited writer, so his name doesn't even show up in the credits for writing the movie.
He knew what was happening. You know what's really interesting? And
what?
Sorry. Again, I think this would be a cool idea for another like a whole podcast, but about how Matthew Lillard is like essentially like a hidden horror icon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's a famous actor, but if you really think about it, a lot of his repertoire is horror and Halloween themed stuff. I mean, we got the Scream franchise, we have Scooby-Doo, Five Nights at Freddy's, 13 Ghosts. I mean, he is everywhere. And he's even, I mean, and he even acknowledges this stuff too. I mean, he has recently released, he's been involved in projects with Scooby-Doo up until this decade.
Yeah.
And he released a whole horror themed line of alcohol too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And it's a fancy thing. Let me see if I can find out what it's called.
Oh my gosh, he's 6'4". I didn't realize he was that tall. I don't even care about people's height, but I would have never guessed Matthew Lillard was 6'4". He's taller than me then.
It's called Macabre Spirits, and it's alcohol is based off of short horror stories. Like you get the alcohol and you get the story that goes with it, type of thing.
Oh,
so pretty cool.
That makes total sense for him.
Yeah. I love that for him, but
yeah.
Anyways, I think that's all I got yapping up about.
I don't have anything else myself. If you guys like the podcast, then give us a follow. I actually don't know if you follow people on podcasts or not, but either way, give us a follow. If you're watching the video version on YouTube, give us a like and a follow and a subscribe. There's going to be some links down in the description for both. Well, you're already on my channel. If this is on the podcast channel, there's links for both my channel and Drake's channel in the description. Go give us both a subscribe. Hopefully at this point we got some more we get content on Drake's channel, but
yeah, that's an ongoing project.
If it's there, it's there, but hey, look out for it. We've gone back, we fixed the audio on some of his older stuff, so you can listen to it in more than just one ear. That's my fault, by the way. Don't blame Drake for that. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
All right.
Well, see you next week.
See ya.